Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Two Old Farts. My name is Chuck.
I'm Larry on the ugly-looking part of the old two farts.
Why are you the ugly one?
Change it up a little bit.
You used to be the good-looking one.
Oh, how's it going?
It's going good.
How's your anniversary?
Same like the other 28. Just hung out.
Wait till I see Brenda tell her that.
No, we just hung out. We don't need an anniversary to go and do things. We do that all on our own. Like Thursday when I got home from work, I was like, hey, let's go to the Copal Wine Bar. And she's like, yeah, that's a good idea because after the end of the month, they're not going to be serving French fries there anymore.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Okay.
I was like, we can't go to the Copal Wine Bar and not have French fries. And she's like, yeah, I know. But he had put on his Facebook page that I guess when they got their last insurance inspection or whatever, they need to upgrade their ventilation system if they were going to use, the fryers. So, and that would cost like $20,000, and he just doesn't have that kind of capital to put out, just for French fries.
Yeah, it'd take you a long time to recoup that kind of money.
Yeah, for French fries. So, I guess we won't be having our French fries with our pizza and wine when we go to the Copal Wine Bar.
Well, just make up. We'll just get an extra pizza or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's about the experience and the memories and all those kinds of stuff. The food kind of is nice, but it's not about the food. It's about the relationship and all that kind of stuff.
It is, and it's sad because, I mean, that's one of our favorite places to eat. We don't nearly go there as much as we go to Aldaco's, but, we love it just the same. And we've been going there pretty much since we moved out here.
Is that the place you took your mom and I that a couple of times? Or as you're going in on...
I think we did take you to the Copal Wine Bar. I'll have to ask Brenda because she's got the memory and I don't.
Yeah. As we're coming down, I forgot the name of that. Well, I turned off on going down towards your house. It's on the left-hand side.
If you're coming down Hebner to my house, it's on the right-hand side.
Okay.
If you're leaving my house and you're going down Stone Oak all the way, it will be on the right-hand side.
Okay. Yeah, because I go down Stone Oak, so okay.
Yeah. It's in a strip mall area, a big strip mall area. And it's been in Stone Oak for, I don't know, 15, 16 years. It's been there a long time. It's an institution.
Yeah, and that's the sad thing about what we're going through in the economy right now. Everything is so expensive and things change. It makes it difficult for, I think, in my opinion, for small business to really survive and compete.
You're right. It's difficult, and it's not just insurance costs, it's labor costs, food costs. If you're in the service industry, like for food and drinks and whatever, God bless you, because I don't know how y'all do it, because I'm sure you were in the restaurant business for so long. You know how thin those margins are.
Very, very thin, and French fries and drinks and those kind of things were some of the areas where you could make up some of that margin, because you get into cooking your full course meals and things like that. There's very little margin there. So you had to have those sides to offset it, to make up some of that. And nowadays with the labor and you're right, it's just unreal at the cost and stuff.
Yeah, it's really tough. And then you throw on taxes on top of everything. And for our international audience, you guys are no stranger to taxes on your food, your gasoline, everything. Taxes on our income. It's just tough. I really don't know how families do it today.
It's extremely hard. And that's why I think you see so many people that's having difficulties in life and struggling that end up taking their own lives and those kind of things. It's just a sad turn of events that seems like over the last few years.
To illustrate the point, yesterday morning, I was feeling a little nostalgic, and I decided to watch that old movie, Johnny Be Good, with
Chuck Berry?
Anthony Michael Hall.
Okay.
Who's the guy that played Iron Man? Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
He's in it. So it's about a football player in high school in his senior year, and he's being recruited by all these top colleges. And, this was 1988, I want to say. And it just all of the crazy things these colleges were doing to try to get him to come play there. And as he's going to each successive college, he's like, okay, what kind of hookups, what kind of payment, what's your deal? But anyway, he went to go visit this one school called Old Tex, UT. And while they were the other top recruits, they were driving around, drinking and having a good time. They pulled into this gas station, and I happened to notice how much a price of gasoline cost in 1988 here in Texas, 84 cents a gallon.
Oh, wow.
Because they filmed, that was the other thing. They filmed the movie here in San Antonio, New Braunfels, and Georgetown.
Okay.
84 cents a gallon. And that was they probably filmed it in 87 and it came out in 88. 84 cents a gallon. And now here in San Antonio, what's gas? $3.39?
$3.39, $3.25 if you're lucky.
I don't even know what gasoline is in California.
Oh, it's over $4.
It's
four something.
Probably,
four something a gallon.
Hey, you know what? We got the internet.
It's unreal.
Okay, right now in Los Angeles, the average is $5.08.
How much?
$5.08.
Oh, man.
In Los Angeles. So in San Francisco, $5.43. San Diego, $4.59, $4.60. And we'll do Sacramento. $4.69, $4.70.
That's unreal.
Yeah, in California. And the reason I want to say California is because this past month, right now, California is our top number of downloads. 41 downloads this month from California alone.
Wow, that's good.
Georgia is tied with us for at 18.
Maybe our nieces and nephews and cousins in California is giving a listen to it. We had a couple that graduated this week from California.
Yes, we did. And one from Alabama. Christy's daughter graduated from high school there.
And then
was it Shannon? Yep. Was it Brooke too?
Brooke, and then I think it seems to me I want to say Jessica had one to graduate. I can't remember. Jimmy's sister, or
you're talking about Bridget's
her daughter.
Bridget's granddaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of family out in California.
Yes, we do. And looking forward to Shannon and Brooke coming down this end of summer type thing. Looking forward to that trip. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, we've had from coast to coast again this month, from Oregon and California all the way out to North Carolina, Virginia, and Connecticut. Can you believe that?
Yeah, and well, you got some relatives in that Connecticut area too. Uncle Michael and Aunt Valerie, and
we've had 12 in Canada alone this month.
That's 12. We have what, 2 or 3?
1, 2, 3, yeah. So we had British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario, Quebec. I told you all of the 5 English-speaking countries in the world have downloaded the Two Old Farts podcast this month.
All right. Step up our
Australia.
game a little bit.
Excuse me, all New Zealand, the UK. Got something in my throat. It's me. Denmark, Philippines. Maybe they're finding us by accident. I don't know, but some of them keep coming back. So thank you all.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, we do. We're very thankful for each and every one of our downloads.
Yeah.
Hey, and guess what, people? We now have the ability to do call-ins. So we can, if people don't want to show up on the screen for our podcast, we can get people to call in.
Yeah, I'm going to reach out to my good friend Andrea and let her know. She's just about through with most of her stuff that she had planned for this month. It's been a busy month for her. And Uncle Bobby talked to him the other day. He wants to come on, and we'll get with your Aunt Carolyn and maybe some other folks there. Maybe get your cousin Jimmy there from Georgia to come in and talk about C&J Glass and Auto Works. So that boy does. I'm gonna tell you, he does a good business. I see some of his work, some of the pictures and stuff he posted on Facebook. He's a very talented young man.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Before we get too far started, tomorrow Memorial Day, I just want to talk about a couple people. Do you know we had 3 people from Seal, my little hometown, that died in Vietnam? And 2 from Pittsfield. One of them we talked about last week, my good friend Bruce Garland. But bear with me for a minute. Willie James Robinson, length of service 3 years. Casual was January 11th, 1966 in South Vietnam. He's on, and I printed these out from the Vietnam Memorial Wall, stuff like that. Clarence Lockhart. Now, these folks from SEAL, I didn't really, I know the names of the families, okay? I don't know them. Length of service, 0 years. Casual was January 1967. He was in the military less than a year when he got killed in Vietnam. Then James Kennedy, another one from SEAL, 1st Infantry Division, 0 years in service, 1968. His tour began September 2nd and ended on November 30th. Then Clarence was pretty much the same thing. That's really sad. And of course, from Pittsfield, Hurston Edward Worrell, 0 years service. His tour began August 27, 68. He died on November 29, 1968. People don't understand what tomorrow is and why we're celebrating tomorrow, and that we need to make sure that we are paying tribute to all those 58,000+ in Vietnam. That doesn't count Afghanistan and Iraq and these other areas. I'm going to do some research on that, but we need to make sure that we're thanking those who gave their all. And these young men, 3 of those 5 was less than a year in the military.
There were 2,459 lives lost in Afghanistan, Operation Enduring Freedom.
How many?
2,459.
So then tomorrow, what is it, 3 o'clock, we have a moment of silence. I think the ceremony is the flag flies at half-staff till noon. And then at noon, it briefly hoisted to full staff. And then at 3 o'clock, the moment of silence.
So, So you're talking about from your hometown on a personal level. I lost two friends, um, one in Iraq and one in Afghanistan. One was my boss that I worked for in Italy. So when we got ready to leave Italy, my unit that I was in was preparing to go to Afghanistan. And the only reason we left Italy was because my landlady decided she didn't want to renew the lease to Americans because her oldest son, had a girlfriend and they were going to, I guess, get engaged and then move into the duplex part of the duplex that we were occupying. And so my boss, Major Ed Murphy, he's from South Carolina, and he was assigned to the U.S. Army Southern European Task Force, or CTAF as we call it, at Camp Ederle in Italy. He was killed in a CH-47 helicopter crash on April 6th. So all lives on board were lost. And had we not gone to the States and me to Iraq, there's a good possibility I could have been on that helicopter with him. And another person, I knew him and met him while we were stationed together at Fort Hood, and that's Chief Warrant Officer Alexander or Scott Coulter. He was from Tennessee. He was assigned to Headquarters and Headquarters Company, 124th Signal Battalion, 4th Infantry Division at Fort Hood. And he was killed November 17th when his vehicle was traveling in a convoy to Tikrit. They ran over an IED in Bakuba, Iraq, which is where I got stationed. So he passed away just before I got to Iraq.
It's sad.
In 2003, and Major Murphy died in April of 2005.
Some great people that we lose, and sometimes we don't give them the tributes that they've earned, they deserve. And tomorrow is that day. We need to make sure that everybody understands that tomorrow we respect those people.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah,
the people that we've lost.
Yeah, that's like my friend Bruce Tyndall. Yes, you get out of high school, you just kind of go in your own ways, and you just lose touch with friends and stuff, or you don't have as much contact and stuff like that. 1970, when he was killed in Vietnam, Bruce was just a good old boy. It was just a lot of fun to be around, and his mom and dad, So, but anyway, tell me about this concert you just had this week.
So this past week on Friday, there was nothing yesterday or Friday, but on Tuesday, I saw it was the Metal Crushes All tour with Frozen Soul, which is from Texas, Obituary from Florida, Cannibal Corpse, and Amon Amarth. Amon Amarth, they're kind of like a Viking metal band. I think they might be out of Norway. Where are they from? They're from Sweden.
Okay. Well, you had the backstage pass or something like that, right?
I had a side stage pass. So along with some of the other VIP goodies that I got, we got to be on the side of the stage for the first 3 songs. And that was quite exciting. And on the third song, there was a break, and the singer, he ran to the side of the stage, down the steps, and back over to the sound booth where we were standing, and fist bumped everybody, and then ran back up on stage and started singing again. It was really cool.
Right. On the Facebook, I saw that one thing about the circle. What was that all about?
That's a circle pit. People get in a circle, and they just kind of mosh around in it, and sometimes it goes counterclockwise. And it's just, people in there just doing their thing.
Did you get in that? Did you get in that circle?
No, I have not been in a circle pit since Slayer was on tour with Anthrax and Testament. And I haven't staged dived since Power Trip was still a band before the singer died. And that was the last time I stage dived, so that was maybe 2019. So I would do it more often, but I usually go to these shows by myself, and I don't have anybody to like hold my phone because I'm afraid it will break or fall out of my pocket or something.
Well, put it in your hand. Be like everybody else. Be shaking it with your phone up in the air, whatever.
But here's the funny thing about the phone, now that I think about it. So we were told to be over at this certain area at the venue by 8:45 to meet up with their stage manager guy who was going to take us, back behind the curtain over to, pretty much behind the stage kind of thing. So while we were waiting, this guy came out because Obituary had just finished up their set, and he was all hot and sweaty, and he came and he stood next to me against the wall, and then he kind of collapsed and sat on the floor. And he's like, dude, you're not going to believe this. He said, I was in the pit and I lost my phone. It fell out of my pocket. And then next thing you know, somebody's patting me on the shoulder and they're handing me my phone. How cool is that? Somebody could have, kept it. That's the beauty thing I love about metal music is it's a family. If you fall in the pit, people will pick you up.
So that just goes back to my thought. I think there's a whole lot more good people out there than there are bad. We just don't hear about them or don't hear enough about them. You always hear about the bad stuff, but you don't hear about the good stuff as much as we should. Yeah,
you're right. And we need to finish off on a positive note on this podcast because I don't want it to be a downer because of Memorial Day. Yes, it's sad that we've lost these people. And their families, they're going to be sad, especially come tomorrow. But, we also need to celebrate their lives and remember them in the good times.
Absolutely. Totally agree because these are good folks, good people.
Yeah, they're good, hardworking people just, doing their thing and just the wrong place at the wrong time. It's very indiscriminate how all these things happen. It's not like the enemy is seeking you out personally. It's just what happens.
Yeah. So what kind of concerts you got coming up this week? Anything?
As a matter of fact, I do. On Thursday night, I'm going to see Saxon with Uriah Heep. And Saxon is one of my all-time favorite bands. They were one of the original bands that came out of England in what was called the new wave of British heavy metal.
Okay.
And, yeah, so with Iron Maiden, Saxon, all of those bands, it's just awesome. I just can't wait to see Saxon again, and they're kind of like a fan favorite band here in San Antonio. And to illustrate the point, a few years ago, they were on a co-headlining tour with a band called UFO. Even though it was a co-headlining tour, UFO always finished up. They were the last band to play. It was Saxon and then UFO. Except when they came to San Antonio, it flipped. Saxon was the last band to close it out. And usually when Saxon comes to play here, they will mess up and change up the set list and play different songs and deeper cuts that they typically don't play anywhere else except maybe in England or in Europe because the fans here in San Antonio are so rabid for Saxon. And then the other band, Uriah Heep, an older band before the new wave of British heavy metal out of England. So, but it's a co-headlining tour, so it'll be interesting to see. And I would almost bet money that Saxon will be the one to close it out.
Yeah, I get these emails every day about history and stuff. And today, I don't remember the guy's name, but talking about he was one of the first rock and rollers from Britain. I think he only had like one really big hit, but he's the one that led the way for the Beatles and all those guys, that British invasion and stuff like that. Back in the day, it's interesting to read that kind of stuff and find what they do and how they get us. Nobody ever heard of it. All of a sudden, they're on the scene, and then next thing you know, they're making the money, and our guys are not. And then we go over there and start making money, right? These bands and stuff. But
So
music,
right. Go ahead.
music just influences everything across the world if you stop and think about it.
It does. It crosses over. I've heard rock songs turned into country songs turned into rock songs, pop songs turned into rock or country. It's amazing when you slow a song down or speed it up, how it can change the whole feel of the song to something completely different.
And also how the artist can change it. You'll hear one artist sing it one way and someone else pick it up, and next thing you know, they got a million seller out of it. That's just their particular style. And it's interesting. It's fun to watch all this stuff go by.
So Uriah Heep, they formed in 1969 as Uriah Heep.
Wow. 69, that's
1969.
That's 56, 55 years, something like that. 70, 54, 55 years.
I'll be 55 years. It'll be 55 years because I'll be 58 in July.
Wow.
And I'm going to go. And these guys are probably real close to your age. That's the crazy thing. And you won't go to see any of these bands. You're like, oh, that's crazy heavy metal music.
Maybe I should have been doing all that and smoking some joints and stuff. I'd probably be a lot better off than what I am now.
You might be. But you know what? The singer, he's only 67.
Oh, wow. So he started young.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. But you could do stuff back then, right?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. So, anyway. Well, that's all the concerts you got here for this month, or because I know in June you're gonna be busy.
Not too busy. So we had a concert. Was it on the 10th?
I think we got something with floors, right? I can't remember.
Yeah. Next month, you and I will go see Molly Hatchet, New Braunfels, and then almost 2 weeks later, exactly, we will see George Thorogood. So we'll see Molly Hatchet on a Saturday. 2 weeks after, on a Friday, we will see George Thorogood.
I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a good one.
Sure enough.
I'll tell you.
I know you love some George Thorogood.
I was impressed. That band's, but it makes me see, when you think about him and you think about Chuck Berry, Jerry Reed, I mean, those people are just amazing artists. I mean, they could just do anything with a guitar,
Mm-hmm. They sure can.
And then Chuck Berry, I want to tell you, I like to watch him. Every now and then I'll be catch some old videos of him and how he could perform and the things he would do while he was playing and singing at the same time. Man had a lot of talent.
Yeah, it was a sad day when we lost him a few years ago. Sad day. He put rock and roll on the map. Yeah. Everybody talks about Elvis Presley or Carl Perkins. To me, it was Chuck Berry and Little Richard.
Yeah, Little Richard was quite an artist too.
Yeah, those guys were rock and roll, and because Elvis, I think those guys, I think they really copied what they saw with the black artists and what they were doing, because a lot of people don't know or remember that a lot of the shows were segregated when they were integrated, and sometimes the black artists weren't allowed to play at other venues because they were for whites only. So they had their own circuit of clubs that they would play, and the white artists would play on their circuit at their places.
Excuse me. But those guys are good, and it's interesting how music has influenced the world. And but you said it many times. It just transcends each other. You find different artists, different songs, and one musician will be doing somebody else's stuff, and they're just good. They enjoy themselves.
Yeah, it was like when we saw Fats Domino. No, not Fats Domino. Chubby Checker.
Yeah,
Yeah, he not only did his things, some of the other artists that were gone, he played some of their stuff and kept it going because
absolutely.
he was part of that genre and knew those artists, and it's important for him to keep their music alive.
That was a fun show. I mean, he interacted with the audience, got up and did a little twist with him, and that's what makes those things fun when you can get out. And I'm looking forward to George Thorogood. But I think we got some different kind of passes with this show this time.
For George Thorogood, yeah, we have VIP, so we have a reserve seat, an autographed tour poster by George Thorogood, a special gift, and a VIP laminate, a lanyard, that goes around your neck. We'll get priority access to their tour merchandise and a priority entry into the venue.
That's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Well, we got to cut this thing short. We're at 33 minutes here.
Yes, we are.
I got to get back on this TV and watch Alabama and Tennessee. They went 14 innings last night. We finally won it 3-2. 14 innings.
Softball.
From 2 to about 6:30.
Yeah, Texas State didn't make it.
Yeah, Texas and A&M play today. Loser, win or go home.
Yep. But that last weekend, Texas State lost to A&M.
I tell you what, that was the first two games were really, really exciting games. You could tell in that third game where the experience and the strength of the teams really came into play.
Right.
Yeah. Then we got some good games on tonight. And then, of course, next weekend we start the College World Series. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm too. Well, all right, old fart.
Well, you be good and behave this week. And I'm gonna reach out and see if we can't get a guest on with us next Sunday.
Okay, and I will do the same.
Okay. Well, you take care. Love you.
Love you too, Dad. Hey, y'all take care, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Find us on the socials. We're on Facebook at the 20 Farts, at the 20 Farts on Twitter, at the 20 Farts on Instagram, and on YouTube, it's the 20 Farts 210, the number 210, because that's our area code in San Antonio, the 210. So the 20 Farts 210 on YouTube. So you can find our podcast everywhere fine podcasts are sold. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon Alexa. You can find us at all of those places and on YouTube, so you can see us on video. You can see our videos in our feed on social media on Facebook. So check us out on the socials. We want to hear from you. Have a great rest of your weekend. Don't forget to remember what Memorial Day is for. It's not to honor the living veterans. It's to honor those who have fallen. The living veterans, you can honor them on Veterans Day in November.
Absolutely.
Or whatever month your country celebrates veterans.
Or whenever you see a veteran, just reach out, shake their hand, and thank them. But tomorrow, let's make sure we do it for those who have given their all and keep their families in our prayers. All right.
All right,
have
everybody.
A good one. We'll see you down the road.
See you down the road. Love you, Dad.
I love you too. Bye.